Hello, wild ones, and welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, and this is my weekly oracle guidance, a reading for the collective, for the highest and greatest good, which is going to be a reading for the week of September 6th, 2022. And the way that these readings work is that I do set the intention that anyone who is meant to receive any insight or wisdom from these messages do find themselves here. It doesn't matter if you are watching this on the live or if you are watching this on the replay. Even months from now, you're always here in exactly divine timing when this message is going to resonate most, or uniquely, I should say, with you and within your own life and circumstances at that time. So these readings are not individualized. They are not personal readings that I'm doing here today. They are more of a generalized overview for the week ahead for all of us as one. And really what we most need to know to give us that insight or power, if you will, into better flowing with the energy versus blindly moving against the current, if you will. So with that said, I do offer personal readings for anybody who is interested. You can always send me a message or check out my page or even my website at magicalme.com just to check out my services and the different sorts of readings that I do offer, as well as any interest in energy healing sessions, which I also offer. And all of that is able to be done remotely and in person. So if you're interested, you can always send me a message, as I said, once again. So before I go into really what more you can expect here, I'm just going to make sure everybody can hear me okay and say hello to those of you that are popping in. Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for being here with me this magical Tuesday. It is not Monday, which is my normal day for doing these readings, but I decided to do it today instead. Raham, welcome. Thank you for being here. Tammy, Jillian, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Carolyn, Bridget, welcome. Eleanor, oh, thank you all so much for being here. How are you all on this magical Tuesday? I know the energy has been pretty interesting over the last day or so. And just really briefly, but while we're waiting for people to see that I'm live, just touch on, and I also have to share this really quickly, but it's been an interesting last 24 hours, I would say. I haven't felt negative energy, but I will say that I did not sleep, not very much at all. And when I woke up this morning, a friend had messaged and showed me the energy of the Schumann, the monitoring of the Schumann resonance or frequency, and it was like a complete blackout, and I think it was throughout the entirety of the day. So it's still, I'm not sure if it's still as of this moment, but as of earlier it was. It's interesting because I'm not feeling negative, but I know that there's a lot of people that might be feeling exhausted in lieu of that, or again, lack of ability to sleep, or even kind of focus, which is interesting. Hi, Laura. Welcome, love. Thanks for being here. Oh, Jillian. Hi, Brenna. Welcome, gorgeous. Jillian says, I can highly recommend Jamie's readings and powerful remote healing sessions. Thank you so very much, Goddess. Appreciate you and sharing your feedback with everyone. Thank you. All right, really quickly, just bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and share this since we are moving on into this. See if I can figure out these new magical Facebook settings. How's everybody doing? How you all feeling? Okay. Let's see if I missed anything. All right. So, yeah. So that's really interesting. I don't think that happens often, and I'm not really too much aware of all of the technical aspect of the Schumann resonance and how the monitoring goes and the levels and whatnot. But all I know is when you see it and see the graph, it was just like this huge blackout space. So that's really interesting. And I guess it really depends on what everybody needs. It kind of feels like when there's a blackout like that, it does feel like a reset. But for me, and it's not surprising, as me, I do a lot more of my magical work in the dark moon energy, or like the voidal space is where a lot of the magical alchemy is happening. So for me, I actually have felt really in tune, I guess magical, for a lack of better word. And it again, beyond the fact that I couldn't sleep last night, surprisingly not very tired today. So that's really interesting to me. It's almost like a regenerating and re-energizing at the same time. So, hey, Dawn. Welcome, gorgeous. All right, so everybody who is here, just for those of you who are new to my page, just going to go over really quickly the news and announcements that I have going on. Again, this is a weekly reading for the week of September 6, 2022. And the way that the reading works is it's an overall reading for all of us, just to really give us that awareness and insight into what it is that we can expect, or any guidance as to how we can best flow in harmony with the energies. All right. So the news and announcements that I have going on, really quickly, I'll just touch over them because the events are created on my page. I already talked about this last week, but the deadline actually has approached. However, if you are interested and you reach out to me like within today, tomorrow, I think I might still be able to make it work and squeeze you in. I am teaching an in-person energetic healing class, Yusoi Reiki. It is the beginner level, level 1, hands-on, in-person training on Saturday, September 10th. It is an all-day class, about 6.5, 7 hours, but you do receive your energetic attunement and transference of the Reiki energies, as well as the hands-on training, so that you yourself are able to become a conduit and vessel for this universal life force energy to flow through, so that you can affect positive change and healing within your own body, within your own life, as well as those around you, friends and family. And so that class, again, there's an event created on my page. If you are interested, you also will be certified in level 1 that day. So if you're interested, just send me a message and let me know, and I can get you joined in and signed up. But that's pretty much it, because it's on Saturday. I only have a small amount of time to get the supplies needed. So what I also have going on will be launching on September 21st, and that is my 10-month journey of my Spiral Temple for level 1. And I do also launch level 2 at the same time for any of my previous students have already taken level 1 with me. So the first level that is available to anyone and everyone is a learn in your own time journey. So it's hosted in a private Facebook group here on Facebook. It's hosted in a private Facebook group. And what it is really is, again, 10 months of individual workshops that you can watch in your own time, and really just move through each module, if you will, as you have the time and as you feel called to do so. They're always going to be there, so there's no need to hurry or rush the process or feel like you're even falling behind. But this journey is really about tapping into and awakening the sacred feminine energy within you. And it is about really rewilding and unbecoming all that the societal, religion, familial conditioning, even karmic ancestral patterning has really impressed upon us. And it's allowing us to come into that space of healing and activating and reclaiming our feminine wisdom and our feminine power through healing the womb, sexuality, through working with forgiveness, healing karma, working with many different goddess archetypes across many different cultures, such as Mary Magdalene, such as Kuan Yin, such as Lakshmi, such as Rhiannon, such as the goddess Melusine, who teaches us all about our self-worth and owning our power and loving ourself first and foremost. And then at the same time, we are walking the wheel of the year together and turning the wheel of the year as we are being attuned and aligned with the seasons. And so it's a really powerful 10-month journey, something that has been really dear to my heart in being able to bring forward. At the same time, you are in a private group with other women who you are learning beside. And at times, these relationships have become incredibly sacred sisterhood bonds. And I myself have discovered and found some of my own beautiful soul sisters throughout this journey of teaching. So if you are interested, there is an event created on my page. You can also go onto my website, magicalme.com, and then there is a section where you'll see it say the Spiral Temple. The details for signing up are there. So, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. So I think that's pretty much it that I have going on at this moment in time. Cosmic Oracle is always going on, but we open it back up for new registration, new members every single month. So if you're interested in joining again for the month of October, just send me a message and we will get you the information when it gets closer to that. Okay. All right. Hey, Bridget, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Brenna says, I had a hard time sleeping too. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know a couple of people that have, and then other people who are just feeling really, really exhausted and drained today. So, I think the message really is to just honor and allow whatever it is that your body is in need of, whatever it is that you're energetically feeling. I know that we get wrapped up a lot in societal programming and, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do that. And, that's exactly the opposite and counterproductive to what is actually coming in with these light frequencies to facilitate us to really start to come more into our own power. And part of that is learning how to be still, not always do. So yeah, honor yourselves, everybody, as best as you can. Try to rearrange your schedule and make room for you in that process. All right, so I did pull the mudra already, everybody. I'm going to show it to you, but we're not going to do it here together. It's on my page. I shared it as a reel on both my Instagram as well as on Magical Me Facebook page. And it was I can never pronounce these, Panchamukha mudra. And it is the mudra known as focus, and actually like drawing focus and energy to you, where you can focus on your goal or your intention. So it's quite powerful. I'm not going to go over it. It's already posted. Check it out. Wonderful energy to work with this week. And it kind of speaks to what it is that we're going to need to know, or what we're going to be needing to do with this energy this week. Okay, or how we can make the best of it. Okay. So I have decided to work with the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle today by Lucy Cavendish. Okay. So with that said, before I pull the message for everyone, I'm just going to take a moment to all come into sacred space together. So I like to do this because at this time we are energetically connecting across space and time. So we are sharing space. And so doing so, one, I like to share it as a way for everyone to just get into a routine of feeling like, or what it feels like to actually connect into yourself and to be still or connect with your breath for a moment, as well as what it is to create sacred space for yourself. Okay, this is just one of many ways to create sacred space, by the way. But because we are sharing energy across space and time, I do always like to ask us all to come to that space so that the message and the insights can actually drop in, if that makes sense. Okay, so all you have to do is just carefully close your eyes and detach from your surroundings or anything around you. Just do so safely. Make sure there's nothing that's needs your attention and that would be difficult to turn away from, obviously. So do your best. You can also keep your eyes open if you choose. Just take that moment to take a nice cleansing deep breath in through your nose. And release the breath through your mouth. And as you do, to start to become aware of your physical body and any tension or stress that you might be holding, and just allow it to begin to fall and melt away. Again, take another nice deep breath in. And again, releasing all tension, any stress, any worry, any thoughts, anything keeping you from the here and now. Just really connecting with your breath, feeling into your body. And last time, to take another deep breath in. And release. And just allow your mind to drop into your heart center, connecting with your feeling. Okay. And so it is. You can open your eyes. All right, so let us see what it is that's coming forward for us all this week. So guidance and insight comes forward for the collective, for the highest and greatest good for the week of September 6th, 2022. We almost need to know. Woo, we had a few. So let me just look at them all, and I'm actually going to show you the top one. Okay. Oh, all right. Wow. It looks like quite an interesting and potent week. So the very first one that came up, the rest of them are kind of just, back up telling a bit of more of a story, if you will. So I'll just put it all into this. But it is number 7. And 7 is, to me, again, I talk about this, the way that numbers speak to me, or just the numerical frequency that I connect in with them. 7 has always been a number of sacred ceremony, or alchemy and ritual and magic, and really that alchemical process or bridge that takes us from one state and alters and transforms us into the desired outcome or reality, if you will. The 7 is also a number that represents taking a blind leap of faith and having just complete full surrender and trust in that process. And I think this might have came up last week, if I'm not mistaken, because I feel like I'm having a flashback of or deja vu, where I spoke of the number 7, and I spoke of that trust that is required when we're asking for, or when we're in motion or in transformation. It can feel very out of sorts, because in that process, you haven't fully crossed the bridge. You're not fully in the old state or space, but you're not yet in the desired space, if you will. Hi, Laura. Hey, Karen. Welcome, goddesses. I didn't show the card yet, but I just pulled it, so I'll show it to you in a second. Talking about the number 7 coming forward with this. And so it is really showing us here that it's important to always remember that during an alchemical transition, that we are in motion. And when we're in motion, we are neither here nor there. And it can feel incredibly uncomfortable, especially in the unknowing. But there is a magic in the unknowing that we're all being asked to really fully open our hearts to and trust in what is occurring, even if we don't see it and even if we can't feel it. Okay? So with that said, the card is the Fairy Wishing Well. Magic. And it says manifestation, expectations, and offerings. Okay. So what I'm hearing with this is that there have been things that we have all set in motion or are currently in the process of wishing to set in motion. And so it's very much like the process of the wishing well, where you have a desire, you have an intention, something that you are dreaming of or wishing for, your heart's desire. And with that, you approach this sacred magical pool or well of water, and you take an offering with you. And with that offering, you speak your intentions into it. And when you do so, You then toss it out into the pool of water, which is a magical conduit, a portal, if you will, from one world into the next. You think of the birthing waters, if you will, and it's also the energy of the underworld with the water. So where the underworld is where we go into that sacred pool of, magic within us, into those alchemical waters that are that enable us to take something and transform it, and then put it out as something completely different. So the underworld also going into any unconscious aspects that might be preventing or hindering our magical manifestation from coming into fruition. So as we cast it out into the waters, we've now taken all these alchemical components, our breath, our intention and desires, our magic, our will, and we've also the energy and the power of water. And then we've also added into that a sacred offering, something that we were willing to sacrifice and give in exchange, as the universe loves the energy and law of exchange. And so in doing so, while we give up that offering, make that sacrifice, if you will, we then let go. We can't sit there running to the wishing well every day, hoping that magically our intentions are going to, or our manifestations are going to appear. We then have to trust in that alchemical process and what is occurring beneath the depths of that water, and what will then be attracted within our lives. But the important thing is that we let go. We set that intention in motion, and we then let go. However, there's an action that was involved in you setting intention, and it was to let something go. You see that? So when you cast it out, you let it go, but you also put motion in action. So by doing so, now it's also time for you to move yourself into alignment with what it is that you're wishing for, with what your heart's desire is. And so how we do that is by also contributing, by giving an offering. And with that, this week is asking of us, with the power of the 9-9 portal coming up on Friday. Nines are a number that are all about closing out old cycles. They are also the key or the pinnacle point of the journey and goal coming into fruition. And so it's a powerful time of releasing in order to ascend up a level. And so we have a 9-9. So the two of that is with those two nines together is amplified. At the very same time, it is Mercury going retrograde. And it is the day before the Piscean full moon on the 10th, depending upon where you're at. Full moons are always a time of wrapping up cycles and completion, but they're in this watery depths of the last sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces, which is the sign of transcendence. It is from the physical into the more spiritual. It is also the energy of the deeply watery depths, so asking us to dive down deep at the same time. But with it being the last sign of the zodiac and that 9-9 energy, it is showing us that this is a cycle of completion, even with that full moon. This is something coming full circle. So as we move into this potent energy of letting go, you're being asked to bring your awareness into your offering for your desired outcome and result, and where you wish to be, where you wish to go, what you wish to occur, what you wish to receive, what you wish to be. What are you willing to let go? What are you willing to sacrifice in order for your intentions to be manifest? So with the ending of these, this powerful cycle coming in at the end of this week with those cosmic events, what is it that there's going to be like a heightened awareness, if you will, around potential emotions, because we've got all this water energy here with the Piscean energy there. But it's a deeply sensitive energy as well. And I don't mean sensitive in this form of weak. I mean sensitive, that it means open, intuitive, incredibly receptive. So it's a great time for you to be incredibly receptive and open and sensitive to the subtle messages coming in that are encouraging you, that are inspiring you, that are whispering to you of what it is that's ready to fully be let go or fully to be sacrificed. So in order for us to achieve, to receive, to set those intentions in motion and then to receive them back and manifest reality, again, there's always an element of what it is that we have to do in order to also put that in motion, because we are co-creators here in the universe. Therefore, we are also responsible to some extent, as again, everything else has its own divine time and divine magical alignment, as we see when it's in the well, waiting to be transformed or presented to us in the physical. Everything is for spirit. But again, what are we doing here within ourselves? And what awareness is coming up for us to acknowledge that this is the remnants of the lasting bit of work that I need to do within myself or within my life, within my circumstances, that is ready to fully be surrendered and let go of. This could be behaviors. This could be the want, the longing for the desire. This could be, again, patterns. This could be people. This could be, just old processes. Anything that is coming up that cannot go with you into the new, that must be acknowledged, to be let go of, so that you can do the necessary work and open yourself up and make room for what it is that's ready to then enter and come into your life. So the fairy wishing well, it shows you the universe is supporting you for your manifestations. The energy right now, especially with this beautiful green man on the fairy wishing well, which is all about fertility, earth magic, and bringing things into the physical, if you will, or seeding the ideas and the intentions so that they can be manifest into growing into the beautiful garden that is your life. That energy is very fertile right now and supporting you to put those intentions out there. If you've already put those intentions out there, you're being asked to look how the water is flowing out of the green man's mouth. And it is flowing, letting go, pouring into, churning those alchemical waters. And so you letting go of anything that's still coming up as part of the old, to fully embody what it is that you desire. Because that's where we have to be. We have to be in that state of what it would feel like to fully embody that experience, that outcome. To fully embody that, what is it that is preventing you from fully embodying that? That's coming up. Again, it could be many different things for many different people. But again, something that I would just say that I keep hearing coming up over and over again is there's lots of emotional patterns, limiting beliefs or old behaviors that are actually feel like self-sabotage, and we're being really called, and there's that focus mudra, really honing your energy and your power into self. So really focus on where you're going, and then at the same time focusing in on your own actions, your own behaviors, and how are you living in accordance with that, and where is it that there's a little bit of wobbly or imbalance within yourself or within your life, because obviously as within, so without. So it's obviously going to show you that those emotions coming up, those limiting, those sabotaging patterns, there's more than likely something in your life that is an activator or a trigger of those that's, showing you what it is that's ready to be released or acknowledged and dealt with within yourself. But, there might be then some things in your actual life that have to go as part of that. So this is a week of focusing in on your desires, but what you need to do in order to be in alignment with those desires and wrapping up those old cycles to really fully be in that space of allow the new to enter your life. We ever really think about that? Do we fully allow the new to enter our lives? I know I can say for myself that I have been very witness this past month to a lot of things, patterns, behaviors, emotions, things that have really come up to show me who I have been and what has kind of been dictating my circumstances that really allowed me to see how I wasn't, or I was enabling the blockage, if you will, and I was hindering my own growth in that way. So it's like, do you really fully allow yourself to receive? What is it that's ready to be released so that you can receive? Okay. All right, everybody. I'm just looking at these other cards really quickly because they're calling me out. And, okay, I'm just going to tell them to you. So the first one is unconditional love. that's also part of a huge process of releasing, letting go, and loving unconditionally ourselves and others throughout this journey, throughout this process, as we are, going through things, going through motions of, closing out old cycles, but entering or trying to step into the new, if you will. It's going to require a whole lot of unconditional love, and your circumstances or desired outcome, we cannot put conditions on them. It's like, this is what I'll do. I'll make these changes within myself on these conditions. No, it's going to ask you for a full surrender into the unknown without the guarantee. Okay. The next one is touch and exchange or connection. It shows that if there is, potential relationships that are meant to be coming into your life, or if you've been manifesting a connection, could be business, could be romance, could be friendship, could be just unconditional love. You yourself have to embody that first. So once again, make the room by clearing out those old patterns of any feelings of lack, of, doubting your self-worth, your own abilities. And again, that power within yourself is so key first before we can open to receive anything else. The next one is portals to the fairy wheel and the galactic Gaian entry point. So it's showing us that we're moving to a very powerful doorway. And 9/9, also moving up to Mabon, which is again a harvest festival on the 21st. So there's a lot of energy that's really asking us to kind of wrap things up so that we can really fully step through this portal, this doorway, this coming weekend and continuously throughout this month. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to everyone. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. It does look like it's really set out to be a really powerful week, can be incredibly magical and inspiring, because when we are able to really fully sit within ourself, within our own emotional waters, and be with the self, which is something that I've actually been practicing about the last 2 weeks, really being fully in myself, present with my emotions. I've not been distracting myself and leaving and, doing things as I go through some really major transformations in my own life. I've really been fully present, and it's not been easy. It really hasn't, but it has taught me so much about who I am, what I'm worth, and what I'm capable of. So in that murky, foggy water, I was able to start to see clearly, and I was able to start to see the magic that waits for me on the other side. So really being present with that, it can be incredibly magical, incredibly inspiring this week, in lieu of potentially even a little bit challenging for some of us as we make some last disconnects or letting go of things that are no longer going with us through this portal. Okay. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here with me. I send my love and my blessings to you, and my gratitude for always being here. And for those of you who even watch back on replay, thank you all so very much. Wishing you a magical and blessed week. Take care.